Imagine you're standing in front of the room giving a presentation and the audience is paying attention. They're not looking down at their iPhones. They're looking up, making eye contact with you. Now you're saying, oh, I'm a technical presenter. I'm boring. I talk about boring topics. I could never have that happen to me. Well, that's exactly how I felt over 20 years ago. But I found a way to make technical topics interesting to a non-technical audience. You're going to learn that in this workshop. Let me tell you about the most embarrassing presentation I ever gave. In 1995, I was an engineer for Motorola. I traveled around the country from my home in Boston, giving presentations on two-way radio systems. I talked about the features of the MX360 radio. 25 features, one slide per feature. My audience usually fell asleep on slide number 12. I decided I wanted to become a better presenter, and I took public speaking training. I learned about gestures, I learned to eliminate filler words, and I learned how to stand on the stage. I felt confident, and I felt eloquent. I'll never forget Thursday, August 24th, 1995. It was the day Windows 95 was introduced, but I wasn't in line to buy software. I was in the security line at Logan Airport to catch a plane to Washington, D.C. I was ready to give an eloquent presentation. When I arrived at the Marriott Hotel downtown, the temperature was 82 degrees in the meeting room. It was 95 outside. I started with my 25 slides, and I noticed sitting in the front row was a man named Ted, a large man, mustache, dark suit. I was determined to have my newly found eloquence help me keep Ted awake through the whole presentation. By slide number 6, he closed his eyes. By slide 15, he was asleep. And by slide 24, Ted started to snore. He started to snore loudly. I was devastated. But this embarrassing situation was also empowering. I vowed I would never let this happen again. I learned that day that eloquence wasn't enough. Although public speaking training helped, Ted was snoring because I was boring. I made 3 mistakes that day. The first was I gave him way too much information. The second was I didn't explain a technical topic in language that he could understand. And the third was I didn't give him a reason to care. I didn't explain why he should care. So I learned there was no magic pill to cure boring presentations. But there is a way that you can explain technical topics to non-technical people and make it interesting. I learned through my mistakes. I call it the Medics method. Here's why. When you go to a doctor, he or she will go through a 3-step procedure. The doctor will examine you, diagnose what's causing your problem, and then prescribe a solution. The Medics method works the same way to cure boring presentations. Examine, diagnose, and prescribe. Step 1 is examine your audience. Find out what they're interested in. Don't just give them a bunch of slides. Find out what's important to them, what's going to make them care. Step 2 is diagnose the situation. Don't show all 25 of your slides. If you go to a doctor, the doctor's not going to give you 25 different slides of 25 different conditions. The doctor's going to diagnose your disease. You're do the same thing when you're presenting. And 3, prescribe your big idea. Find something, one thing that you want the audience to remember. Find something that's memorable, that they'll understand, remember, and act. The MEDICS method is effective whether you're giving a TED talk or you're talking to Ted in the front row. It's worked for me for over 20 years, and you can do it too. Are you ready to learn how to cure boring technical presentations? Yes. Great, let's get started.